What's up, A to Z Sports Live on a Titan game day. It's our last Titan game day of the season,
God
and
bless it.
well, yeah, right. We made it, Easton. We finally made it. It's the last pregame show of the year. And honestly, this might be the most fun pregame show of the year because we have whimsical games. We have a bingo board that's back. We're going to have bets that win, and the Titans hopefully will lose to complete the tank and not screw it all up by winning and sweeping the Texans and losing out on a top 2 draft pick or potentially the number 1 overall draft pick. So we're going to have a good time on this pregame show. Before we officially get going here, Easton, tell the people what they got to do in the chat so we can get this thing off and rolling as we're officially 30 minutes away from Titans-Texans kickoff at Nissan Stadium, the regular season finale. Let's get this thing going.
Yeah, I wish I could agree with you on it being the most fun pregame show.
Really,
It
you
certainly
don't?
is the least serious pregame show we'll be doing of the year. I
I think
can't.
that means the most fun. So.
Well, if there weren't the creeping feeling that I know every single person that plans on partaking in today's game in the back of the heads of all of these people that the Titans are going to find a way to win this game. That sneaking suspicion is keeping it from truly being a fun time, but we're going to try to enjoy ourselves nonetheless. And we can't do those things until you help us out by hitting that like button on Facebook, on YouTube. Hit that thumbs up under our faces right down there on your screen. Like the show this morning. Last time we have to ask you to do this on a Sunday this year, and thank God for it. So help us out one last time. Let's finish strong with those likes, and we'll get this pregame show rolling.
Yep, let's do it officially. Welcome to A to Z Sports, our Titan Game Day Live pregame show presented by our friends at X Golf Nashville and in Murfreesboro, playxgolf.com. Also, shout out to BetMGM, the official sports betting partner of the Tennessee Titans and of A to Z Sports. BetMGM is where to go. Use our bonus code ATOZ Sports to get up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if your first bet misses. And our friends at T-Dot, the Tennessee Department of Transportation, they are out there making sure that we can keep our roads clean and find a way to end littering across our state in 2025. Nobody trashes Tennessee.com. If you can't tell, voice a little raspy today, battling some of that stuff that's going around this week and just basically everywhere. Everybody getting sick, battling something off. But we're going to battle through this. And I think we're going to have some fun with this Titans pregame show because last night, I was like, I texted you and Sam, Easton. I said, if I wake up early enough tomorrow, I'm going to make a Titans bingo board for the tank. And then maybe like 10 minutes later, I sent you the bingo board for the tank with like 4 missing boxes.
Yeah, I was like, what happened to wake up early enough?
Yeah,
You're just
because
really
I started thinking about it. And then I was like, crap. I'm not going to sleep if I don't just do it right now. So
fair enough.
Without further ado, it is the Titans tank bingo board versus the Texans today. I'm going to have a lot of fun with this because I want to get this Will Levis cologne out of my house. I will give this Will Levis
cologne.
About?
That's a collector's item. That thing is historical.
I know. I will give it away to somebody if we hit Titans tank bingo. So, Easton, I want your thoughts here on the Titans tank bingo board that I did about 80% myself, and then you helped me fill in the last 4 or 5 boxes here. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I like it. If I had to make one revision, which it's too late to do, I would change the free space to lose, because if they don't lose, no bingo winners today. But I think there's some interesting ones in here. But one, like, my only contribution to this is the lower left-hand corner. Who's that guy? I expect us to have the announcers name off somebody that maybe you're like, you got your face in your phone, or you're grabbing some chips from the kitchen or something, and you hear a name come across the TV that makes you do a double take, and you're like, who is that player? Never heard of that guy in my life. Probably going to be a couple of those today. Let's see what else. Pro Bowl alternate mentions. Those are going to be a lock. That anytime any of the 4 Titans Pro Bowl alternates do anything, they will be mentioned as Pro Bowl alternates in a really tough season. But wow, really impressive that these guys toughed it out.
Right.
Jarvis Brownlee penalty feels like a lock. Over 3.5 quarterbacks.
That was also your submission. Don't cut yourself short. You did put Jarvis Brownlee Jr. penalty on the board.
Right. And then over 3.5 quarterbacks play might be my favorite one that you did. Just the idea that we're going to get 4 different quarterbacks throughout the pace of today's game. So yeah, I mean, I think most of this board is extremely doable. There's obviously some incentive ones in there. Tony 1,100 rush yards, Ridley 1,000 yards.
Yep.
You've got, I think, somewhere on here, right? Yeah, NWI touchdown to get to 10.
Mm-hmm.
Levis turnover is on. Oh, I forgot to even mention. You've got wait, it is on here, right? Where is it? Yeah,
The
new
new
Levis meme
Levis
down there.
meme?
That's the one I'm looking
Absolutely.
for. New Levis meme is a strong one. So I want the full Levis experience today. I know we're rooting for a loss, and it doesn't have to be a touchdown. But I want one just like wicked awesome play where you're like, there it was. That was the promise that was never fulfilled. And then I want at least one hilarious moment of some sort, whether it's a turnover or him running over some poor personnel person on the sideline or him making a hilarious face that the broadcast catches. We need something.
Right.
I want the full spectrum.
Yeah, we need the full Will Levis experience. I think so. We're gonna play this. I'm gonna do my best to update this on Twitter every time we get something to come off the board with my little green check mark there. But I will need your guys' help because the broadcast is involved in this, right? So it's like the playoff graphic is shown. CBS shows the draft order. Do they show Elvis coming back from commercial break outside of Tootsie's? The funny sad fan. Like these are the new stadium segment. That's probably later in the game after the game is super boring. Maybe, I don't know. And then Mike Vrabel mentioned, like if it's a Black Monday mention, all these things, they check in on New England and Buffalo. The quote, players aren't here to tank. So like we're going to need all people, all hands on deck to make sure we keep up with this bingo board. So I want to ask the chat off the top here because we're going to actually go through. We're gonna go through our confidence level in allowing or in the Titans losing this game to complete the tank. But I'm gonna throw the board up here. I want to get Easton your opinion and the chat's opinion. What bingo is most likely to hit?
Oh,
what bingo is most likely to hit? And for simplicity of comments, you can use like, in across and in, like you can use like I down, I across for those. If you want to just say without having to type out everything,
let's see.
Which bingo do you think is most likely to hit in our tank bingo game?
Listen, I think that multiple bingos could be had today, to be honest with you. I don't think it'll be that. I think somebody is getting a bingo. So one of these lines or columns is going to be a bingo. But if I had to pick the most likely one, man, it's probably end down. It's kind of one of the more boring ones, but I think Levis is going to score a touchdown. He's going to probably pass for a touchdown today.
Passing and rushing counts for that.
Right. I think Levis is going to get a touchdown today. I do think that they're going to show the New England game. That's a lock. 1,000%. They're going to and check in. I mean, all they have to do is just mention it.
Yeah,
they're going to mention
score, visual, verbal.
Yes, it's going to be something that's talked about all day. Brownlee penalty has been unlocked for a couple weeks in a row now, and that's not hating on Brownlee. That's just he plays physical. He tends to draw a foul once or twice a game. That's okay. And then a new stadium segment feels like something that they just have pre-programmed. So I'd say end down probably is the most likely.
You're going end down.
Yep.
Okay. So I got guys in end down. Derek says end down. End O is where MB is going. Middle straight down. So end down is a popular one. Man,
Okay.
I really tried to set these up where there wasn't just the easiest one in the world to hit.
Right.
But maybe I messed up and I had end down being kind of the easiest one because
I think I down is possible as well because they're going to talk about 1,000%. They're going to talk about players don't tank. Rudolph touchdown is just as likely as a Levis touchdown. Fans leaving shot is almost certain because of the way that the stadium is going to look today. Ridley hitting 1,000 yards. We're going to talk about that later. You and I both financially involved in him doing that. We think that he is going to do that. And then the new Levis meme. I mean, maybe that's the hardest one on the board. But
I think a Rudolph touchdown and new Levis meme could be could happen simultaneously.
Oh, okay.
And the Levis meme doesn't necessarily mean bad,
No, it's just something that's funny. He can be in on the joke.
T across. There are two T's across. Levis turnover. Players don't mention. Elvis shown. Tony. I think Tony 1,100 yards. Like him getting 83 yards is interesting. I don't think.
I think it's happening. Well, the reason why I'm confident is because they didn't bring anybody up, right? So he's right. They don't have much options in terms of running backs today.
Casey said this is the most hilariously unhinged and accurate bingo card I've ever seen. I take that so to heart.
That's a
Thank you.
compliment.
Like, I love that because I came up with this at like 11 o'clock last night in after like another Mucinex dosage. So I really do appreciate that. So which one do you think is not going to happen? Like, which is the hardest square for us to get checked in this? Because I think I know it. I think I'm between two.
Well, I immediately know what the hardest single square to
Mhm.
get is. I'm trying to figure out which, either it's the row or the column that I think is less likely. I'm gonna say.
I mean, like I'm talking about I know the hardest row and the hardest individual squares.
I think the hardest bingo to get will be G down.
Yeah.
Because I think Tony 2 rushing touchdowns is a really tall ask today.
I don't
I
know.
think all 4 quarterbacks playing is likely to happen, but you never know. NWI getting a 10th touchdown also just like so G down involves 3 Titans touchdowns. That's really the thesis of why I think G down is hard.
Yeah, that's
because it involves 3 Titans touchdowns.
That was a mistake on my end. I think if in down is the easiest, I think in across is almost the hardest too. Because you got to get 2 Tony Pollard touchdowns and a Mike Vrabel mention.
Yeah. And a Levis meme, which is not a lock. You never know. Also, that stadium segment, I mean, listen, they may be too ashamed to show that under the circumstances.
No, that's going to happen. Like they might literally do a new stadium segment after they show Elvis. Like all it has to take is coming back from commercial. So like I think Bork says, wait, they have 4 active QBs today. No, I'm talking about like both. That includes the Texans.
2 from each team.
Yeah, so we're gonna see Rudolph and Levis.
Which actually, I take that back.
Stroud.
That's definitely happening. I don't know why I acted like that was gonna be hard.
Yeah, that one's gonna happen.
I just wasn't thinking.
I just like putting 3.5 on the board instead of just over 3. Just
Fair.
3.5 is more fun for me to put.
Take the escalator over 4.5. There's gonna be some third quarterback's gonna play today.
All right, let's get back to this actual pregame show. I want to ask you guys this question.
Very serious operation we have here this morning.
No, but like in all seriousness, for this is real. How confident are we the Titans are actually going to lose this game? And I'm being dead serious.
So like confident they lose. Not
they lose.
Unlike most weeks where we're saying how confident are you they win.
How confident?
So a 10 out of 10 is you think they're going to lose, just for clarification for the chat.
Exactly. So I just dropped that in the chat. I'm going to put up a tweet again as well. How confident are we that the Titans are actually going to lose this game today? And Easton, you just said it. 2 means they're going to lose. 1 means they're going to win. So
10. 10 means they're going to lose.
Damn it.
Okay. No, you're good. 10 means they're going to lose.
1
means they're going to win.
I'm going 1 or 2.
Right, 1s and 2s.
I guess binary is 1 or 2.
O's and 1s. Don't worry about it. We get what you're saying.
So at 10, they're gonna lose. A 1, they're gonna win. So Easton, I'm gonna send you to the chat.
We got a lot of answers already here.
A lot of answers. So how confident are you the Titans are actually going to tank appropriately and lose to the Texans at end, with 10 being your most confident they lose, 1 being you think they're gonna win this game?
Yeah, right off the bat, we've got the full spectrum here. Our boy Lou, 1, thinks they're going to win. MB, 10, thinks they're definitely going to lose. Let's see. Seeing a 4, 4, 4, 3, 4 from Brandon, Blake, Ethan, and Guy. So more likely that they win than lose. Some nervous Nellies there. Some confidence from DeAndre and talking 10. And David here, as well as Clayton, all thinking the Titans are more likely to win. We're seeing some people barely off the fence, not quite riding the fence here. Darius 5.45. Apparently the weather is gross, or Game of Thrones. I don't know. Jake says 4.5. Orlando says 4.6. So people leaning Titans win more than Titans lose. Man, the answers are so all over the board here, Austin. It's hard for me to even eyeball an average. I really think it's 50-50. I mean, I'm not seeing a trend here at all in the chat.
All right.
What do you think?
I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
Because when I saw Friday afternoon that Brian Callahan named Will Levis as the starter, and then Rob on Broadway made this graphic, which I think, and I texted a buddy.
But hang on, let's made this graphic. Let's not give Rob too much credit.
No, he gets all the credit in the world because this is the best use of AI in Titans history to this date.
So good.
To this date.
This is strong prompt work from Rob.
It is so good. And like that's why I give him credit, because
I want to know what he had to put in to get this image.
There are so many things. And like you love the AI when like you look in like that's not a letter. And like wondering like what the hell. But
it's pretty strong.
It's so good. It is so good. It's so well done. That looks like downtown Nashville behind the tank. But when I saw the Will Levis starting quarterback,
the look on his face is so stupid. It looks like he has no brain cells. There's just nothing going on up here.
It's so funny. It's so funny. Is starting Will Levis the best chance you have to lose the game? Like, that's my question to you before I answer this question about confidence in them actually losing. Is starting Will Levis the best option to lose the game?
You're going to hate me. I really there's no way for me to answer this question without riding the fence, because let me explain. It's the same thing we've seen all year from these two quarterbacks. The range of outcomes from Will is just way wider than Mason, right? So with Will, if it is a good day for Will, the answer is absolutely not. Like, if they're both playing above average ball by their own standards, Will is going to win you the game more often than Mason is. And if they're both playing below average ball by their standards, Will is absolutely the answer to tank. Now, the last time we saw Will, the last two games before he was benched against the Jaguars and Bengals games, right?
The Bengals game, yeah.
Yeah, those were the last two he played. Two really, really crappy outings from him that ultimately got him sat down. If we get that guy, and there's just continuity, the last thing we saw is what we get again today, then yes, starting him, playing him as much as possible is ideal. But if we get the guy we saw the 4 games before those last 2 games, they better sit him down in a hurry and get Mason back out there, because he's liable to win them the game.
And the game that he won against the Texans. Like, he threw a pick six in that game.
One of those games, yeah.
But like, he was legitimately very good.
If you get that effort from Will today, they'll find a way to win.
So here's my thought. Will Levis, in a kind way, Will Levis is consistently inconsistent.
Yes.
Because Will Levis scored 30 offensive points against the Texans back in week 12, he's not doing that again today against the same opponent. He is consistently inconsistent, which means he's not going to, like, repeat performances do not happen with Will Levis to the winning level. He has not won. How about this? Will Levis has not won back-to-back games as an NFL player. So I don't think he's not going to have to do that now either, but like, he is not good enough to put back-to-back good games together. I don't think he's good enough to put back-to-back good games against the Texans together, even if there's a month and a half between them. So my confidence level in the Titans losing this game, I'm literally like at a 4.
So I'll also tell you this: to win than lose.
I do, because there's many factors in this. The title of the show says the Titans are threading the needle of tanking for the NFL draft and incentives and Oilers' motivation versus Texans. There are players that are going to be playing today that are going to go out there and do everything they can to score points, to make plays, to win the game, because that's in their best interest. There are, like, the players that are playing, I don't know how many of them are going to be on the roster next week 1.
Sure.
There's
fair point.
A lot smaller percentage. There's a larger percentage of guys playing today that will not be here next year that will be here next year. And the guys that will be here next year who are playing are driven by dollar signs. By Tony Pollard could score 2 touchdowns and rush for 83 yards independently of one another and make more money. Does Calvin really have an incentive for 1,000 yards, or is that just something?
No, he does not, but that's personal motivation. And you've got NWI also not directly financially incentivized by 10 touchdowns, but he's about to be a free agent. And so he is actually indirectly very financially
Calvin
incentivized.
Ridley could have a 1,000-yard season with his 3rd franchise.
Right. It's a big resume builder.
Crazy. Yeah. Resume builder for who? For what? I don't know, but for something, for legacy.
It's important to these guys.
Yeah, for sure. It is important to these guys. And so, and also, here's the last thing. This is the most money I've ever bet on one singular outcome in my entire life.
It's always a good sign. Professional bettors always say over leverage yourself on specific games and don't flat
Yes.
bet. That's the way to make money.
Yeah. Now I do have a little bit of
Actually,
hedging in there, and
it's
we'll
actually
talk about that in a
the
second. But
opposite
like
of the correct
that
advice.
is where
I'm
I'm
with
at.
you on this one.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we both are being irresponsible bettors today.
Yes, but also very logical, you would think, because the Texans are still underdogs.
Correct.
I tweeted this morning and posted on Instagram. I do the BetMGM post every week the Titans play. And I tweeted and posted Titans or Texans money line with a picture of Will Levis. I boosted it at BetMGM to plus 125. It was plus 100. When I looked later, it was plus 105 by itself without the boost. NFL give you Pro Football boost all the time, and so I used it. So
Right.
I'm at a 4 out of 10. It's going to be a nail biter until we get to the very end of this thing. So I'm at a 4 out of 10. I feel like they're going to win the game.
For those that watched Sam and I on the pregame and postgame and halftime show yesterday or last week, rather, you know what the game is here. I'm at a 1 out of 10. The Titans are going to win this game.
Sorry. They are doing a cut into Nashville. They just showed the playoff graphic. Doesn't count.
Does not count.
It has to be
kickoff is when things start.
Yeah, just a heads up on that officially for bingo.
I'm with you. Yeah, but anyways, I'm at a 1 out of 10. Titans are going to win the game. They're going to win big.
You're at 10. You're a 1 out of 10.
1 out of 10. No doubt in my mind they win this game.
Really?
And for folks that listened to Sam and I on the show last week, you understand what the game is here. So yeah, Titans win. Huge, no doubt in my mind. I think they might set a franchise record for both yards and points in this one. And the Texans, you may hear talk about one of the playoff teams potentially firing people. So that's how big a deal today's win is going to be for the Titans.
Okay, so Clayton gets it. I think I'm picking up what you're putting down.
So
Curtis, I think Curtis is starting to get it. So okay, so I see what you're saying. Let's talk about the X factors in this. Easton, I want to know how the Titans lose this game without it being as blatantly tanking as possible.
Right.
I want to know how the Titans lose this game.
Honorable tanking.
Without the NFL being like, we need to investigate this.
Right.
That is going to be our X factor today. Shout out to our friends at X Golf in Nashville and in Murfreesboro. They've been with us all season long. X Golf been with us for 2 football seasons. These days, they are the home of indoor golf in Middle Tennessee and the destination for all the golfers out there that want to keep their golf season going. Don't get rusty over the winter. You can avoid that by going to the home of indoor golf, Middle Tennessee, by playxgolf.com. They've got 2 locations in Nashville and in Murfreesboro, the best golf simulators on the market today. They've got all the awesome courses. They've got tons of leagues and fun things to do, incentivize you to go out there in Murfreesboro and in Nashville for playxgolf.com. It's also a great sports bar. So you've got some college football games coming up, playoff games. You've got pro football playoff games coming up too. You can go watch all the games, eat the good food, drink the good drinks, and play the best golf simulators on the market today at playxgolf.com. So Easton, how do the Titans lose this game without being investigated for tanking?
Right. Should we call it a real quick audible here and share our bets with 5 minutes before the game?
Oh, good call. By the way,
Let's
the game does kick off at 12:02.
Okay,
so we have
7
2
minutes
extra
for the game.
minutes.
All right, well, let's get those out there real quick, and we'll get the X factors.
All
I know
right,
that you've got us locked down with the incentive, or like milestone parlay of the
milestone parlay. You ready for the milestone parlay?
Let's hear it.
All right, I'll put up the milestone parlay. So at BetMGM,
this was a no-brainer.
So I've got Calvin Ridley over 60.5 receiving yards. He only needs 60, but that's where the odds were at when I got it. So Calvin Ridley over 60.5 yards. Tony Pollard over 85.5 yards. He only needs 83, but again, were the odds I got him. So over 85.5 for Tony, and a anytime touchdown for NWI. That would be his 10th receiving touchdown of the season. So you parlay together Calvin Ridley 1,000-yard season, Tony Pollard getting his incentive for 1,100 yards, and Nick Westbrook-Akine getting 10 touchdowns. That by itself is plus 1,250. I boosted it because BetMGM gives me parlay boosts when I go over 400, plus 400 to plus 1,562. So I just put an easy $10 on it to win potentially 166. So that is the milestone parlay of the day is Ridley to 1,000. Tony hits his 1,100 incentive and NWI gets his 10 touchdown over plus 1,500 boosted.
Yeah, this is also one of the, obviously taking this is a no-brainer one as well. This is one of those parlays where I definitely would place the parlay, and then I would bet the individual legs as well. I think that,
Yeah.
hitting 2 out of 3 of these is a possibility. I think, Ridley and Tony getting theirs, but NWI not quite finding the end zone, perfectly possible. Obviously not besmirching the idea of keeping that auto pay feature on your credit card set up with the NWI anytime touchdown. Obviously place that as well. I'm just saying you might hit 2 out of 3 on those today. In terms of my betting, I'm there as well. Betting, in terms of betting, I guess I don't have to play the jinx game. I'm betting the Texans money line. I think is a smart bet today. And then you can also, if you want to sprinkle a little on the Tony Pollard incentive combo where he hits his yardage and the 2 touchdowns, just a little bit, because you get some long odds on that, and there's a chance that maybe he's the entire offense today, and that's their plan to tank, is they'll just run the ball 55 times and never pass. So those are my picks. Oh, one more here. If you want to ride the Titans path to the number 1 overall pick parlay, just parlay the money line of the Texans and the Patriots. It puts you around plus 400-ish today to have the Titans have the ideal outcome here in week 18, get them to that number 1 overall pick and make some money in the process.
So Easton, I'm getting nervous because I do have Texans money line
right
twice.
Right.
And then I have Texans plus 4
right
that I got on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I just told you this morning the Texans money line was plus 100. Then I checked it again a couple hours later, and it was plus 105. I just opened BetMGM right now. Texans money line is plus 120. And the Titans are now minus 2.5. Are you getting actually nervous here? Because
I've been nervous all week. I'm not getting any more nervous than I was before. I think in terms of line movement, I think that is based on Vegas's increased as we get closer to the game. Wow, they're showing shots of the stadium. It is so empty. Sorry, it really caught me off guard. An increased understanding by Vegas of who is and is not going to play for the Texans in terms of starters and how long they're going to play. That information starts to trickle in. And so I think all that really tells us is that the Texans may be playing their starters less today, or less of them today. So it's not going to be easy. The Titans are going to have to, the blueprint is, let's get to our X factors. The blueprint is the Browns yesterday. If you watch that Browns game, that was A+, chef's kiss, delicious tanking. The decision-making in that game, saw some very cowardly punts, saw some very questionable, like 3rd and medium run plays where you probably should be passing the ball. These are the things that you do. You just play the most disgusting 1960s conservative game plan, the way that you call the game from a coaching perspective. That's the way that you lose this game, is you find every reasonable bad coaching decision that still fits in with that conservative theme that you see too many coaches still abiding by seriously.
Yeah. Man, I'm nervous. I'm legitimately nervous. I feel like they're going to win this game.
The world will not stop spinning if they win this game. It will just be a massive bummer.
If they win this game, I at least need all of our incentive boys to hit so I can at least come out okay with the money side of things, because the BetMGM bets are loaded. I would have a hell of a day today if the Titans just flat out lose, and I'm sure everybody would as well. We got the game coming up in about 2 minutes, so official predictions time. Shout out to BetMGM. Use our bonus code ATOZ Sports. You get up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if your first bet misses. They also got Pro Football Boost. I used a 25% odds boost on the Texans money line this morning. I also used a same game parlay boost as well. They got me 33% boost on the Incentive Boys parlay for same game parlay for this game today. So BetMGM's always handing out the gifts even after the holidays. So prediction time. I see some predictions flying in here. We just got about a minute and a half before the game kicks off. 38-30 Texans. 30-17 Texans. Adam says 21-20 Texans. Anthony says first quarter Texans money line.
All right, sure.
I would actually think the Titans money line first quarter probably win. 17-12 Titans. 18-17 Texans. Ooh, Easton, where are you at here?
Yeah, I am at let's see. Texans lost last time they played. They lost to the Ravens 31-2. I'm gonna go. They lose this time 35-2. I think the Titans kill them. I think that it is once again. I think the Titans, if not for some fourth quarter resting guys, because you're up so much, they'll be on the cusp of setting some records. So I think the Titans win big. By the way, shout out Titans cheerleader Darius. Always brings the energy, brings the juice. Total dog. Just want to shout him out on the show this morning.
Nice.
But anyways, yeah, that is where I think the Titans win big. I think they lead wire to wire, frankly. So big win for the Titans today, 35-2.
Karen says 21-17 Titans. I was kind of thinking that. I don't think the Titans make a field goal. I do think they miss a field goal.
Titans landing on 17 today would be
no, it's 21-17 Titans win.
Oh, excuse me. Well, that would be unfortunate. The Titans should aim to land on 17 or less
in the first half.
Today. No, total.
What's
your prediction, Austin?
I think the Titans are going to win this game.
Okay.
I think it's 21-20.
So they lose real close. Okay.
No, they win.
I mean, they win real close. Texans lose real close. Maybe 21-20 Texans with the ball at the end. We're all rooting for them to go down and score, and they just kind of.
No, I think the Titans are going to score last.
Oh, you think they clutch up at the worst possible time?
Yeah.
All right.
Is why I left the free space open.
No, nobody wins bingo today if they win the game. There are no winners.
That's actually kind of fair. All right, make sure you hit that like button. The game's starting. We'll be right back at halftime. I'll update bingo on Twitter. Make sure you like the show, like the show, like the show, like the show, like the show. We'll see you guys at halftime. Appreciate it as always. Bingo starts now.